Hi, and welcome to the Parent Twain Connection. My name is Clarissa Constantine, and I am the founder and CEO. How did we get started? Well, honestly, it totally came about from a conversation with a friend of mine who was navigating some really heavy challenges with her daughter, who was 15 at the time. Mom says to me, I just wish I had other parents to talk to. What she meant was actually twofold. Number one, she wanted parents to just give her some guidance, to be like, hey, we've been there, we've done that, we've got the t shirt. Here's some suggestions of how you can show up as a mom. But she also didn't know where to go to get professional help. She'd been to the guidance counselor, she'd been to the pediatrician, she'd been to this professional and that professional, and nobody seemed to be able to help her. And she's like, how do I help my child? Well, from there, fast forward several years, and we have several communities that offer exactly those kinds of supports. The first one is our Parent Tween Village. As the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. So, Parent Tween Village is a community for parents. It's a judgment free zone where they can talk, they can get guidance from other folks, they can talk about all the kinds of stuff that's coming up for them with their kids, knowing that it's a safe place. It's not going to get back to their kids. It's not going to get back to their kids' parents or family members. Our second community is for folks like you and me. It's our trusted expert network. Now, if you're a professional who is in any way responsible for generating your own revenue, maybe you're an entrepreneur or maybe you're in sales, you recognize the value of referral marketing. Maybe you've been in organizations like BNI or eWomen or your local chamber of commerce. I'm in several of those myself, and they're really good. They've done a tremendous amount for my business. Referral marketing is really powerful. What I find is the limiting factor of those types of organizations, by and large, is that they don't actually do anything to put me in front of my end users. So I've got a sales team working on my behalf, but the organization as a whole isn't giving me an opportunity to be in community with the folks who could use my services. That's one of the things that separates the Trusted Expert Network from other kinds of referral organizations. Because we're so focused on professionals who support families, we can give you that opportunity. So maybe you're an attorney who specializes in family law and helping families navigate divorce or child custody or um, you know payments for child support and such. Maybe you're a an estate planning attorney and you help families navigate the change when their kiddos turn 18 and there's a whole host of legal aspects that come up that we didn't anticipate. Maybe you're a personal trainer who specializes in helping moms navigate menopause. You could be an ideal trusted expert in our network. Maybe you're also a professional who supports teenagers. Maybe you're an academic tutor or a test prep tutor, or you're a teen life coach. Well, again, we can help you be in community, not only with other professionals who work with the same families that you do, but we can put you in community with families in Parent Tween Village and in our Facebook group as well. So we have Parent Tween Village, we have the Trusted Expert Network. We also recently filed for nonprofit status. Why? Well, it's great to introduce families to the professionals and the professionals to the families. But what happens when the families can't afford the rates that the professionals charge? Our vision is to be able to bridge the gap. We're also planning, potentially within the next year or so, to launch local in-person communities. These will be led by select members of our trusted expert network, and they'll be our local community builders. They'll host monthly events, either educational events, social events, or volunteer opportunities. But why would you want to do this? Because it places you at the front of the room, so to speak, every month. Maybe you're a test prep coach and you've got a family who starts coming to you and coming to your events when their kiddos are 12 and 13. Maybe they don't need your services right now. But in a couple of years after they've been coming to your events, when they're starting to think about the college admissions process, you're going to be the first person they think of. And you know what? Maybe you're a great fit for them. Cool, you filled your pipeline. And maybe if you're not the right fit, or if they're not the right fit for you, you have a network of other professionals to whom you could refer them for somebody else who might be a better fit to serve that family. So that's coming. Stay tuned. So let's talk a little bit more about the Trusted Expert Network levels. So staying in the theme of teenagers and education, we have 3 levels at which professionals can choose to participate. We have a junior varsity, varsity, and then a professor level. The JV level is the lowest level of commitment, and it's also the lowest level of exposure. It's really ideal for folks who are like, you know what? I just want to be listed on the website. I don't necessarily have the time or the inclination or the desire to participate overly heavily. I'm not interested in podcast interviews. I'm not interested in contributing blogs or anything like that. Totally good. It's a way to participate. It's a way to increase your visibility, and you are still invited to participate in the networking events with the other professionals. Now, if you want a little bit more engagement and a little bit more visibility, our varsity level I have found is really kind of the sweet spot for most entrepreneurs. This does include opportunities to do Facebook Lives in the group. It includes a podcast interview. It includes the opportunity to do interviews that are live streamed directly into our Facebook group, into Parent Tween Village, to our LinkedIn page, and to YouTube. And it also includes the opportunity to contribute to upcoming Parent Tween publications. Now, if you want the maximum of exposure and you have been in your profession for an extended period and you know that you are among the best of the best in your industry, you might want to consider participating at our professor level. We are going to limit this to 5 for the foreseeable future, but these folks really are the creme de la creme of their profession. They're the folks who have testimonials a mile long and have potentially decades of experience and recognize that they want the absolute maximum exposure. They'll have access to everything we mentioned in the JV and varsity, but they'll also have the opportunity to be featured presenters at our live events starting in 2023. They get the most podcast interviews. They get the most live streaming exposure. So it's definitely a higher level commitment. It's a higher level of engagement overall. Now, I do also want to make sure that I mention that in perpetuity, our commitment is that 10% of all of our Parent Tween Village and Trusted Expert Network membership dues will be contributed directly to the Parent Tween Foundation so that we fund that forever. So what's the process look like? Well, if you're ready to roll, click apply. It'll take you to the application page, take care of the application fee. And if you're here in the US, you'll automatically get an email inviting you to submit information for a background check. If you're not in the US, please email me and we can walk through the process in other countries. We do have professionals who have already been through this in other countries. If you're in a country where we haven't been through it, we'll learn together. Anyway, once the background check comes back clear, you'll get an email from me saying, hey, we're clear on that. Let's set up a time for 2 different interviews, and we'll also ask you for references. Those references, one of them at a minimum should be from a current or past client who can speak to their experience with you having utilized your services, and the other can be either a personal or a professional reference. Once those are all clear, we send you an email saying, hey, we're ready to go. You decide what level you want to play at, and then we're off to the races. Now, I do also want to mention that if you are in a larger corporation where you have more folks participating in your team, or maybe they actually are your employees, and you want to promote your organization, not just an individual service provider, or if you are in a nonprofit organization, please email me. We are crafting customized corporate partnerships and nonprofit partnerships in addition to our current Trusted Expert Network structure. So if this sounds like a good fit, we invite you to go ahead and click apply if you're ready to roll. If you do have more questions, the first option would be to click on the events tab and check out our upcoming Trusted Expert Network information sessions. If you have just a simple question, please feel free to email me. You can do that at clarissa@parenttweenconnection.com. Whichever way is ready for you, we look forward to chatting.